We just want to hear what you have to say, so we can meditate all day. Clear the room, come take your place. We really want you to stay.
Good morning, church family. Good morning, Generations fam. It's great to be with you this morning. It is Wednesday, February 11th. It's about 26 degrees out. So glad you're joining us today. I hope you got your cup of hot beverage. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. Man, we've been talking about Vision Sunday 2026 Grow. We were talking about the heart of the vision yesterday. Isaac and the inheritance, famine seasons, as annotated in Genesis 26:1. We talked about the temptation of Egypt, what it's like to sow in famine. And yesterday we talked about opposition to growth. Just to recap that a little bit, Genesis 26:14, the Philistines envied him. Talking about Isaac. The Philistines envied him. Growth attracts attention. So in this year of growth, we're talking about personal growth. We're talking about spiritual formation. We're talking about getting planted and having deep roots, because deep roots with the big head topples over. Remember that? And we talked about growth attracting attention. Not everyone will celebrate what God is doing in your life. Sometimes obedience brings opposition. I think that's a good word. Now listen, listen, if we got into this season of growth, and we got into this season, let's talk about, hold on, I'll get there. It's early. Good morning. Let's try this again. Good morning. I know we talked about it yesterday, and I just want to refresh a little bit today. Opposition to growth. If we're going to commit this year to growing, let's talk about what our reason is for growing. Listen, if you're up there in age, you've probably accumulated an enemy or a foe or two. Man, let's talk about the heart of growth. Let's talk about the heart of growth. Why are we growing? Why? I know we are growing. We're digging and we're building into our spiritual formation. But why are we growing? I hope it's because throughout our faith and throughout reading the Word, we have had a desire to grow closer to the Lord. If our reasoning for growth is off, let me give you an example. Sometimes people find motivation for life in retribution, in getting even. Can we just pause for a moment? If you're in that situation and you're looking to grow, let's get our why out there. Let's get our why, W-H-Y. Let's get our why out there. Why are we growing? Why are we pursuing the Lord? Is it with evil intent? Well, that's kind of a big word. And often, if we understood it that way, we wouldn't pursue it. But look, if we're trying to get even, if we're trying to settle the score, if we're trying to prove something to someone or a group of people, let's reset. Let's take this time right now to reset and get our why in order. So if we're growing, we have to know why. And we know that there's going to be opposition to growth, and we're going to have to know the reason for our growth, the reason, the purpose for our spiritual formation, so that we don't just give up when it gets really hard. So let's talk about why. Why are we growing? And don't get me wrong, I've been there, and I've had excuse me, I've had poor reasonings for doing things in the past. Good morning, Sharon. I'm so happy to see you today. Happy Wednesday. So what is our why for growing? Listen, yeah, I spent many of my early years not necessarily, well, yeah, oh man, how complicated is that? Yeah, I think in some ways I was trying to get even, or I was trying to prove myself. That was my why. And buckle up, folks, this one's complicated. Yeah, so I joined the military. Boy, why did I join the military? Oh boy. Uh-oh. We can't turn this into a George therapy session. We can't do that. So, man, we're not basic creatures, and there's not just one reason why we would do something. But I do want to bring attention to the why, as to why we're growing. Because that's what we're going to be focused on. That's what we're going to be looking towards. That's, if we have a goal in mind, man, let's be honest with ourselves with what that goal is. We're growing, but why? Why? Why are you growing? Why are you growing? Listen, there's a concept in biology. Good morning, Heather. So happy to see you guys this morning. There's a concept in biology that I have found to be true in my spiritual life, anything that has to do with organics. And that is, if you're not growing, you're dying. If you're not growing, you're dying. So growth is absolutely necessary for us, but what's your why? What is your why? Listen, we got to be very clear and draw boundaries around this question. What's our why for growing in 2026? If that's riddled with insecurity, if it's birthed out of anger, it's not going to last. It's not going to last because those emotions wear off. So what's your why for growing? That's what's going to keep you steadfast. It's going to keep you faithful. What's your why for growing? So we'll get into this just a little bit. What's your why for growing? Excuse me. Oh, this is so good, man. Oh, I just hope I can do it some justice. What's your why for growing? Listen, if you have a chip on your shoulder and you're trying to get even with life, or get even with your parents, or get even with your teacher who's maybe said something poor, or maybe a friend, those emotions, they wear off. Those emotions wear off, and you're going to be left without any drive for your growth. So let's talk about why we want to grow. Why we want to grow. We want to grow. We want to grow in spiritual maturity. We want to grow in spiritual maturity so that we can interact with our fellow man in an appropriate manner that's uplifting and wholesome and helpful. But we really got to evaluate our why. I think when I joined the military, I joined the military for a number of different reasons. Number one, I felt like it was a calling from my early childhood. And I think there were a lot of worldly influences, just immature spiritual formation. But nonetheless, I joined the military. And what my why was, there were several of them. I wanted to get out of the situation that I was in. I was not in a good place in my early youth. Good morning, Chrissy. So happy to see you today. I hope you guys have an amazing day. So if you're just getting on with us, we're talking about about growth, talking about our year of growth. And what's your why? What is your why? WHY. We may have to continue this tomorrow as well. Because listen, if your why is messed up, your results are going to be messed up. If your reason for spiritual growth is messed up, your spiritual growth is going to be messed up. So let's get to the core as to why we're growing. Why do I desire to grow spiritually? Because I want peace in my life. I'm in that season of life where there isn't much else that I want in this world than peace and contentment. And I'm learning those traits right now. But my why previously, and this can be dangerous in ministry for sure. So if you're looking to if you have a calling on your life into ministry, deal with your why now. Don't do it out of anger. Don't do it out of retribution. Don't do it out of, I want to show these people what. That why is not going to last. Ministry is difficult in ways that you wouldn't really think. But growing our spirit man, our why has to be pretty solid. We want to be closer to God. We want to understand Him more. We want to understand His creation. We want to be intimate with Him. We want to be close with Him. We want to understand His Holy Spirit. Our faith has so many ways that we can grow. So many ways that we can grow, but the reason for that growth, we have to take to God. Would you do that with me today? Whatever you carried into your calling today, whatever you brought into your season of growth, let's fix the why. Let's fix the reason. Let's make sure, let's use this as a checkpoint to make sure that we're looking for we're headed in the right direction because our intent is correct. And let me tell you, if you're trying to grow right now to prove other people wrong, that will last for a while. It'll get you down the road. But it won't last. It won't get you over the hump. It won't get you all the way through. So we've got to drop that baggage. If we're trying to prove something to somebody, man, if we're even just trying to look for acceptance, that's already found in Him. It is. It's already found in Him. You were already desired, pursued, loved, and if you already have a personal relationship with Jesus, then now we're looking to grow in Him. But we got to make sure that growth comes from a place, comes from a good place, from a solid place, from a firm foundation. Pastor Clint just held pastor class the other day discussing the foundation. He did a fantastic job. I hope he lets me post it because he did way better than he thought. But what's your why? What is your why for this season of growth? Are we trying to prove somebody wrong? Or are we trying to prove God right? Are we trying to prove someone wrong? Or are we trying to prove God right? You know, he's jealous for the spirit inside of you. If you don't have a personal relationship with him, would you shoot a message to this channel? We'd really love to have a conversation with you. Well, hey, that's it for today. We might talk about your why tomorrow a little bit more. It's 5:50. It's cold. We're so glad that you woke up this morning. We're so glad that you woke up. And hey, tonight we have, it's Wednesday, so we have Equip starting at 5:30. The Hungry Hearts Ministry team is bringing a hot and free meal just for you and your family, served at 5:30, and then we got small groups at 6:30. Pastor's Class, Truth Seekers, and Kaya. G Kids, Youth 418, all rocking and rolling tonight. We hope to see you then. Until that point, church family, we love you. We're so grateful for you. Think about your why today. Think about your why and your growth. We'll see you tonight.